Fear is false evidence appearing real. It is something that holds a lot of people back from wanting to chase their dreams, from wanting to build a business, from wanting to allow their products and services to speak for themselves. And the thing is, unless we're able to figure out a system to overcome it, we're not going to be able to fulfill our full potential. So in this video, I'm going to be providing a step-by-step guide on how to overcome your fears and finally accomplish your goals. So first, we need to define what fear is. Now, there's multiple definitions of fear, but we're going to actually look at what, for example, we can see on the internet. We can see that fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by threat of danger, pain, or harm, or to be afraid of someone or something as likely to be dangerous, painful, or harmful. Now, while I was preparing this video, I came across a statistic that I think that a lot of you will actually gain a lot of value from. So as we can see, most things we worry about or are afraid of do not actually happen. In fact, it suggests that 85 to 91% of our worries are unfounded, meaning majority of the things that we are scared of within our brain do not actually come to fruition. So the question is, why are we scared and why are we allowing fear to actually hold us back? Now, I want to give you a definition and understand exactly why I say fear is false evidence appearing real. So we were to literally just write it down. Now, when we look at it, according to the statistics, as we can see, majority of our fears and majority of the things that actually happen within our brain will not actually happen in real life. Your brain is so powerful because when you look at the subconscious and the power of the subconscious mind, if you read into books like that, you start to realize that your subconscious mind cannot actually tell the difference between what is real and what is actually fake. Hence why all the things it's been watching, for example, when you guys are watching Netflix, I watch Netflix as well. There's nothing wrong with it. When we are hearing all the horror stories online and through the news, when we are digesting brainwash on TikTok, etc., when we're hearing negative things in our environment, our subconscious mind cannot actually tell the difference. And funny enough, you'll be so surprised that all the things that you actually consumed as maybe entertainment or consumed as a bit of fun or just in conversation reappears in different forms as false evidences within your own mind. You'll be so surprised that's the case. So all this evidence comes from all the things we've been digesting, all the things that is perceived to be real, but in reality isn't real. After that, it ends up consuming your mind, and guess what it starts to do? It stagnates you. It prevents you from wanting to push forward. And unless we start to ascribe this definition and actually get control of this fear, we will never be able to move past it. Now, the first thing we need to do is acknowledge the fear. Fear can come in so many forms, whether it's the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, the fear of being misunderstood or not being good enough. I can, for example, say when I first started being an entrepreneur, my first ever taste of entrepreneurship was actually through network marketing, right? Where I believe I was around 14. And then one person approached me and said, oh, do you know about trading, etc.? I'm pretty sure you guys have probably heard of network marketing and things like that. And shortly after that, when I was exposed to the amount of income people were making and I realized there was something different to life, yes, maybe network marketing wasn't my chosen path, but straight after that, I started to actually go into the music industry. And that's where I started to see a bit of success for the first time in my life. But I know for myself, before even heading into the music game, I was so scared about a lot of things. Where is the fear of judgment? Okay, what will people say that I'm giving up on what you say education? Bearing in mind, I'm Nigerian, right? So in an African household, if you're not doing education, not going to university, trust me, is a very, very bad thing. They're going to look at you in a certain type of way. It could be the fear of failure or being misunderstood. Listen, now that you are looking to become an entrepreneur or actually become the best version of yourself, you need to understand that society does not encourage people to be great. In fact, it encourages mediocrity. Majority of people, let's be very, very honest, they don't actually see themselves to doing anything more than what they've been told to do. They don't see themselves to actually be great. In fact, it's gotten to a point in time where whenever you're having discussions with a lot of people and you actually start sharing some of your goals with some people, hence why you have to be careful who you share your goals with. When you start sharing your goals with the wrong people, they automatically kill it because they can't actually think past, oh, no, I came from this certain type of environment. This is all I know, and this is what I'm going to stick to. So a lot of the time as entrepreneurs, we are actually stuck in this fear of failure and being misunderstood by our environment. And as a result, a lot of us think we're not good enough. I remember when I first started becoming an entrepreneur and actually getting into the music game, although yes, I knew how to play the keyboard and I knew how to actually produce to a decent level, I could say, and actually record people as well. I was always thinking I can do this thing, but why would they choose me rather than choosing someone else? But lo and behold, it wasn't until I broke past that fear of failure, I got in the studio and I actually did my thing and things started actually making sense for myself. And I'll go as far as to say, for those that know me, I've gone from the music industry into real estate into now becoming a business consultant. And in saying that, every single time that I've gone into a new industry, I'm going to be very, very real with you guys. I've never been prepared. I've just gone into it, right? And I can actually argue from the conversations I have with a lot of entrepreneurs that are very, very successful, a lot of them do the exact same thing. They have a vision, they have a dream, they have something that they're aspiring to do. And instead of actually preparing 100%, they take that leap of faith and they educate themselves as they keep on going. So a lot of the time, even that fear of not being good enough is false, because you become better the more you do something. And the thing is, the reason why we want to acknowledge it and why it matters so much is because if we ignore all of these triggers, we're only giving it power, right? Naming it helps you take control. You have to realize, unless you bring it to the forefront of your mind and actually are able to tackle it head on, trust me, you're going to always be overcome by the fear of whatever it is, whether it's the fear of failure, etc. And an example is, I'm scared people won't take me serious if I share, for example, my music, my art, or my message, my business, my product, or my services. Guess what? People won't take you serious in the first instance, but the more that you push it, the more that you believe in yourself, people start to believe in you as well. Now, the second thing we want to do is, of course, reframe the fear. The reason why we want to reframe the fear is through shifting perspective. Instead of asking, what if I fail, is asking, what if I help someone? Guys, I'm going to be so real. This is such a key point. The reason why this is so key is because a lot of the time, we're not realizing that the things that we have been given as gifts, as abilities, and so on and so forth, the vision that we have in our head is a solution to someone's problem. Have you ever realized that as an entrepreneur, our job is not just doing the product or service? Some people have a problem, whether it, for example, let's say if I was in the gym and fitness space, right? People want to lose weight. Guess what? I have the solution of helping them lose weight. As a result, I help them lose weight and give them a transformation. Let's say, for example, me being a business consultant, people have issues within their business. They don't understand what's going wrong, or they want to systemize something. They come to me, I identify exactly where the issues are, and as a result, we're able to move past it. In saying that, we need to shift the perspective and understand that, listen, every single thing we're ascribing and actually delivering to the marketplace is some sort of value that people could actually want in real time. And you need to understand the source of it. A lot of fear is inherited, like I mentioned before, from past experience, from societal pressure, and from limiting beliefs. You have to realize, like I mentioned before, I kind of skipped ahead already, but the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is fake. Every single thing that you are exposed to, your subconscious mind will consume. And as a result, it seeps from the mind and it goes solely into your soul. And without getting too deep, you have to realize that the more that it goes into your soul, it seeps into your heart. And eventually that fear goes from being an external thing into an internal factor, which is what is controlling a lot of people in today's day and age. We want to ultimately reframe the fear as a sign that what you're doing matters. It's not a sign to stop, it's a signal to prepare. Being an entrepreneur is scary, right? It's not an easy task. Being an entrepreneur, wanting to actually make a difference, wanting to provide a solution and wanting to make a change is not easy at all. It's something that a lot of the time, in reality, we've probably never been exposed to it. In fact, a lot of us are first generation entrepreneurs. So it wasn't as if that we came from a rich family that taught us how to do things, or we were brought up in a business school that taught us how to be an entrepreneur, etc. We are learning things in real time. We need to understand that every single person, from the low all the way to the high levels, they all experience the same thing you're currently going through, which is that fear within their mind. But the only difference between the people that actually become successful and the people that don't become successful is just this one factor. The successful people embrace it and push past it, but you currently don't. And the thing is, we need to develop the muscle, we need to develop the habit and the trait of pushing past our failures and our fear in order for us to actually unlock that next goal. The next thing is that we need to become rooted in purpose. Clarity creates courage. Why do you want to share your gift? Who can it help? And how does it change lives? Unless we have a big reason why, we are not going to be able to actually stay consistent on this new path we are taking. I'll give you an example. A lot of us first get into entrepreneurship for the wrong reasons. And I'll use the gym as an example for this. I remember when I first got into the gym, I'm not going to lie, like a lot of people that are capping on the internet, I first got in there because I want to become more attractive so that I can attract more ladies. It is what it is. But after a while, you start to develop the discipline and realize, listen, I can't keep on waking up early and going to the gym and eating a certain type of way and bulking and trying to cut and bulking and trying to cut, going through those embarrassing moments, educating myself in health and all this type of stuff just for other people. It doesn't make any sense. So after a while, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you can resonate with this, after a while, it goes from it being an external factor into an internal factor. I need to go to the gym because it allows me to have a great day. It sets me up for the day. It makes me feel energized. It makes me feel healthy. It makes me feel confident. All these type of things. The same exact thing with your product and service. If you don't have a reason past the superficial things, trust me, you're not going to stay consistent. Money can be a motivating factor for a lot of people, but guess what? After the money and after you attain it, what else is going to carry on driving you? So we need to look past all the superficial things that are holding us back from actually attaining that goal. You need to look past it and actually say, okay, cool, I want to provide my product and service. Let's say, for example, what I do, which is business consultancy. A lot of business owners are in the trenches, so they are literally trying to make things work and fix things as they go. So sometimes what they need is an external person that's going to look at it from a bird's eye view, identify all the constraints within their business, and as a result, they're able to now start to have a bit of clarity within their business. And in most cases, it tends to be just lead generation. Okay, they need new customers and need more customers coming into their database. Okay, wonderful. We've identified that. What do we need to do next? Let's create a sales funnel that is going to be able to attract your clients, nurture the clients, and eventually put these clients into your calendar. You can use AI to do that. You can do that manually. You can use paid ads. You can DM people. You can use email marketing, all sorts of things. And by helping them identify all these issues within their business, guess what we're able to do? I can help them make more money, and guess what they're going to do with that money? It's going to eventually help them attain that reason why, which could be, for example, they want more time with their missus or with their family. It could be, for example, they want to spend more time with their children. It could be, for example, they want to generate more revenue so they can employ more people, all sorts of things. But unless you have a strong reason why, trust me, you're not going to be consistent enough to carry on pushing and carry on becoming great and a better version of yourself. Realize that. So in saying that, anchor to meaning, the stronger your why, the weaker your fear becomes. If you understand that the product and service is actually helping someone and people are actually getting results, guess what it's going to do? You're going to push past all the things in your head telling you not to make a YouTube video like I'm doing right now. The amount of people that come to me on a daily basis and give me calls, etc., saying, oh, bro, I thank you so much for uploading that YouTube video because it helped change my perspective or help me make more money in this fashion. Or how can I actually get involved in whatever you're doing? You'll be so surprised. Yes, for example, we're still a small channel, but we will grow eventually, God willing, right? You'll be so surprised who's actually looking and who actually needs your products and services. But you'll never know that unless you push past the fear and actually market yourself, put yourself out there and get people to understand that you're actually able to solve their problems. Now, the prompt you need to understand is if I stay silent, who misses out on what only I can offer? Now, I know this is geared towards entrepreneurs, but I know there's some intrapreneurs, people that have 9-to-5s and want to excel in that ladder as well, that watch these videos as well. I want it to make sense for every single person. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, with me, I knew that music was my ability. Let's say, for example, in my church, in my studio, and just in my environment, everyone knew me as the music guy. But as I was doing the music and I was pushing towards my goals, people that had me on Snapchat, people that had me on Instagram and met me in person said, listen, this guy, there's something about him. He's very motivated. He seems educated. He can hold a conversation, etc. And lo and behold, as I was able to not stay silent, but be loud about my vision, be loud about my goals, be loud about all the things I wanted to become and attain and strive to be, guess what? Instead of people missing out, a lot of people till this day, and I have so many people to actually testify to this, have actually single-handedly said that, bro, just by you putting yourself out there and saying what you're saying, doing these videos, etc., has really transformed a lot of things for me. So guys, realize that there's something that you have that only you can offer. Always remember that. And if that is the case, you need to move with a certain type of finesse. You need to move with excellence. Hone in on that craft. Make sure the product and service is amazing and it's great. And as a result, when you're marketing yourself aggressively, there's going to be something that only you can offer that people are going to be able to benefit from. Now, the next thing, once we understand our purpose and we understand the big reason why, the next thing we need to do is to start small, but start. Action is the antidote to fear. Begin with one step, a post, a call, a demo, or a video. All it takes is one thing, right? Once you post that video, once you make that piece of content, once you promote yourself to even one person, it can literally transform everything for you. I'm pretty sure we've all seen videos of people saying, oh, all it took was one YouTube video to literally transform my entire channel. Or I'm pretty sure you guys have seen so many examples of all it took was maybe one conversation to transform my life. I remember there was a person, I believe he's the head of BlackRock or Blackstone. I'll get his picture on the screen so you guys actually know who he is. The guy, right, years and years and years ago, he actually appeared on, I think it was like BBC or ITV or something like that. Basically a news channel for some of my Americans that are watching this as well. He appeared on the news and there was a young gentleman just like myself saying that all he did is that he went to wealthy areas and literally knocked on every single person's door. When he was knocking on every single person's door, guess what happened? He was able to actually unlock conversation from wealthy people and ask them the simple question, how did you attain your wealth? He eventually knocked on the right person's door and that person eventually became his mentor. And from being someone that was just curious and actually took action to just knock on the door and have a conversation, now the guy is in such a high position. He's wealthy, he's affluent, and he's an inspiration to a lot of people. So always remember, all it takes is that one step. Take it step by step. Take it one day at a time. Take it one video at a time. Do not overwhelm yourself and do not allow the world or things around you to put pressure on you to prevent you from actually moving forward. And the key thing is that you build confidence through repetition. Competence builds confidence, and confidence silences fear. Competence builds confidence is something that I actually learned from, I believe, Myron Golden. He says that the better you become at something by repeatedly doing it, eventually you become very, very confident in that manner. And I added at the end of it, the confidence eventually silences the fear. If you know that you are the person for the job, there is no way that you would not be confident and bold about that. Let's say, for example, you're at your workplace, right? And your manager is saying, okay, cool. Who can actually handle maybe the marketing and actually get a new idea for us to generate new leads for our business? And you know within your mind that you're very, very good at some sort of marketing tool. Whether that is, for example, content, whether that, for example, is long form videos, and you're very, very confident you're the only person within the room to do it. If you are not able to stand up and actually say, listen, I'm the person for the job, put me to the test, then listen, you're operating in too much fear, man. Operating in way too much fear. And it's the thing that holds a lot of people back. You need to be loud and proud about your gifts and abilities in the right moments. When the opportunity appears, you need to be prepared and be competent enough so that it leads to confidence. So when you're executing, people actually call you again and again and again for that job. People end up recommending you to other people. Your business grows. People start respecting you more, so on and so forth. So a tip that I have is don't wait to be ready. Start messy and let experience polish you. The key thing is that, like I mentioned before, every single time I've started something new, I've never been ready. All I do is literally force myself out of my comfort zone. As a result, I gained the experience. Literally, maybe a decade ago, before I got into music, for example, I was literally just a bedroom producer, watching people like Timbaland and Dr. Dre and all these type of people do their thing, right, within music. I remember I was making beats in my bedroom. I didn't feel I was ready, but guess what? When the opportunity presented itself for me to go into a studio and actually start recording people, I said, you know what? I knew how to actually record. So you know what? Let me just volunteer myself to do it. Lo and behold, just by me starting loud and proud and being bold and learning along that journey, I was able to travel around the world, work with some of the biggest artists within the world. And that experience of me just taking that bold step is what led to what I do right now. Because within me being in the music industry, I was able to unlock a massive network by forcing myself out of my comfort zone as well, right? And people started referring me to different opportunities, hence why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. So guys, always remember that it always starts from wherever you are and eventually you end up becoming the great person you need to be. Outside of that, you need to detach from the outcome. Let go of perfection. Perfection is killing my people. Your job is to express, not to impress. Guys, perfection it's just not real, right? You will never be perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. Nothing will ever be the ideal situation for you. So don't allow social media to fool you. Don't allow people around you to fool you and think that everything's perfect, everything's going well within one's life or within one's business. Because people are going through a lot of hurdles. People are struggling. People are going through things that, trust me, they are not confident enough to actually say and be bold in saying, like, for example, I am on this channel. In saying that, you need to refrain your brain from being, I want to impress these people, to I want to express the talents that I've been given by the Most High. I want to express my love for my passion or for the purpose that I've been given by the Most High. You want to go from that human instinct of okay, I'm going to impress these people into, I'm going to actually showcase whatever I have. And as a result, the results are going to be had. And by simply measuring the impact, not likes, you end up focusing on transformation, not validation. Funny enough, when you focus on the results, you end up becoming better very, very quickly. When you focus on the results, you end up getting more testimonials. When you focus on the results, guess what? More and more people recommend you, like I mentioned before. So the mindset shift is very, very simple. Your gift is not about you, it's about service. So big. I believe that every single person is put on this earth for a reason. Number one is serving the Most High. Number two is allowing whatever He's giving you to make itself known onto the masses, right? So loving others through your gifts, through your abilities, through the purpose that He's actually giving you. And in being in service, always remember that the person that is the meekest ends up inheriting the earth. So have that at the back of your mind. The next thing is 6. So surround yourself with beliefs. Your environment matters. Be around people who see your value and push you to grow. This is so key. Changing your environment can actually be the make or break factor between you being successful and not being successful. If you are an ambitious person, if you are someone that, for example, wants to push past your abilities and you surround yourself with people that are not, they will rob you of that ambition. If you are fearful and you're scared and you surround yourself with people that are fearful and scared, guess what? It ends up becoming an echo chamber and you guys just stay within that fear and within that misery and within that negativity. You need to break out of your comfort zone and surround yourself with people that are doing better than you, people that are more ambitious than you, people that show confidence. And what you do is that you don't bring your fear and then you just dump it on them. That's going to get you kicked out of the environment very, very quickly. What you do is that you force yourself out of the comfort zone, you do your own work, and as you surround yourself with these people, you allow that work to start to manifest itself slowly and slowly and slowly up until a point where you become the type of person you need to become. And accountability helps. Share your goals with someone who will check in and cheer you on. So remember, share your goals with the wrong people. Don't be surprised when they rob you of that goal, right? Because a lot of people are negative, man. I find that within today's society, and it personally annoys me, man. A lot of people are just negative about everything. I know that life is not like the sweetest all the time. I know that a lot of things happen. I know that we're in hard times, economic times, etc. But there is always a reason to be grateful for whatever situation you are in. For example, if you are in a position where, for example, you may be struggling with finances, etc., you'll be so surprised. If you were so grateful about the small things, such as, for example, having a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food to eat, you'd be so surprised how that gratitude can actually turn into the results you're actually searching for on the opposite end. Because that gratitude can change your entire behavior. It can allow you to actually unlock all these new environments that you need to unlock. It can allow opportunities to attract themselves to you because you're pleasant to deal with. I'm not saying be positive all the time and be kumbaya. I hate that mentality as well. The mentality you need to have is just to not be negative. Whenever negative things happen, I try my best not to think, why is this happening? But rather, what is it teaching me? What can I learn from this? And as a result, it's literally transformed my life every single time. And lastly, what we want to do is to let our gift speak freely. Stop editing your essence. The more authentic you are, the more magnetic your gift becomes. Guys, strive to become the best version of yourself, but always remember that core foundation of what makes you you. If you understand that your unique gift, for example, is being charitable to other people and showing compassion, for example, then allow that compassion to speak volumes to whatever you're doing. If you understand that, for example, teaching people and actually speaking is your gift, then guess what? Set up a camera like I'm doing and just record that content and teach as much as you can. Give out as much free value as possible. Whatever that unique gift it is for you as you're becoming the best version of yourself, make sure to polish it and allow that to become your unique selling point. Because guess what? The more authentic you are, the more magnetic your gift becomes. People start to attract themselves to you. Hence why you notice the type of content I make. I try my best not to be as flashy as possible, even though the level of content is definitely going to improve on this channel. Like I got me an editor and all this type of stuff now. People can see past the inauthenticity. People are tired. They don't want to see, oh, hey guys, welcome to today's channel. Nah, bro, they want to relate with you for how you are. How I'm speaking right now, I'm pretty sure in some of the other videos you guys have seen me in, I might have been a bit more energetic. I can be that, but in reality, like if you guys speak to me in real life, this is how I am. I'm chill, man. Unless I'm doing a public speaking engagement, I'm mad chill. Do you get it? So in saying that, just be who you are, be authentically you, and trust me, people will buy into it as a result. Trust the process. You're not going to be understood by everyone. And in saying that, you need to actually just form your own tribe. Form the own people that are actually going to buy into your products and services and actually going to be like-minded in whatever you're doing. As a result, what ends up happening is that you live a more fulfilled life because you're living with people and doing business with people and operating with people that are on the same page as you. So it becomes less of a clash. In reality, it becomes more of, just being fulfilled, as I mentioned prior. And a quote to live by is, your voice will shake at first, let it, then speak anyways, right? And I love that so much because a lot of us, a lot of the time, again, the fear, it prevents us from wanting to even try out to even do anything in the first place. And unless you are willing to push past that, and unless you're willing to put yourself out there and make the mistakes as you go, you will never be able to develop. The first time, for example, that I ever did a public speaking engagement, I remember I was stuttering quite a lot. I remember even in primary school, like when I got on stage, I was so scared whenever all the parents used to come in, right? And as a result, I'll literally forget my lines whenever it came to drama or whenever it came to us doing like a presentation, I'll be stuttering like a madman. It was crazy. After a while, you keep on holding on that gift and getting better and better and better. And as a result, whenever I do public speaking right now, I tend to engage quite a lot of people, meet a lot of people, etc. It's the same thing, for example, when it comes to making YouTube videos. You guys are with me on this journey of building this channel out and actually growing our core fan base, growing the community of people that are like-minded, that want to strengthen their mindset, that want to develop skill sets and eventually develop a tool set, which is resources around it. And that's what this channel is built on, right? So in saying that, you guys have seen the ups and downs of my content where some of the audio is moving mad. Some of the camera angles are just not camera angling. Sometimes I appear on the camera looking higgy-hagga. It is what it is though. Do you know what I mean? And they're saying that as we build out this channel and I keep on progressing, and you guys are seeing it in real time, if I'm able to do it, then there's no reason as to why you guys can't do it either. So in saying that, please guys, push past the fear. Understand that fear is false evidence appearing real. And as a result, you're able to unlock whatever you plan on unlocking. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want more content like this, make sure to leave a like and actually comment down below how you found this video. And comment down below a takeaway, like your biggest takeaway from this video, right? So that it helps me improve the content. I'll create more stuff like this. And make sure to watch the next video that YouTube recommends you, because YouTube, the algorithm, understands us more than we understand ourselves, right? Without further ado, see you guys in the next one.